And using new words in speech is often a challenge for language learners. Here are 10 strategies to help you make words stick in your mind and use them in conversation. 1. No random words. We remember what is relevant to us. Making lists or index cards with random words is not usually an effective way to remember and use these words later. Word lists and index cards are great for revisiting vocabulary you have already learned. But to make a new word stick in your mind, try linking it with something meaningful to you. You will be more likely to remember a new word if it is used in a context you find interesting or are passionate about. For example, if you are a football fan, there are more chances you will remember the word unstoppable in a sentence, such as Messi is unstoppable, rather than just as a single word or in a generic sentence, e.g., some people are unstoppable. Tip: the British Council Learn English website features tons of interactive videos, games, and podcasts. No matter what topic interests you, you will always find something there. There are also discussion boards under activities, so you can share your ideas with other learners. 2. Learn in chunks and scripts. We retain words better when we learn them in small chunks, i.e., small phrases that combine several words, and scripts, i.e., typical dialogues. For example, instead of memorizing the phrasal verb to come up with, memorize it as part of the phrase to come up with an idea. This way, you make sure that you know how to actually use this verb in at least one sentence. Similarly, instead of memorizing 33 ways of saying hello, learn it in a script, such as, "Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you." Tip: if you are into learning with video, TV, and films, try Fluent U. There are interactive captions, so if you tap on any word, you will see an image, definition, and useful examples. You can also find other interesting resources featuring words in context. For example, this Speak Smart collection on Instagram has different scenes from popular television series, giving examples of particular words and phrases in use. If you love reading, try reading short texts such as cartoon strips. There are many comics available online, including those for language learners, like Grammar Man, which you can also listen to while you read. 3. Use your inner voice. Learning is essentially an internal process. To learn a word, you need to get into the world of your inner voice. Try the following. Listen to a word, phrase once. Now listen to it inside your head. Then say it inside your head. Then say it aloud. Record yourself saying it and listen to the recording. Does it sound the way you heard it with your inner ear? Tip: on Forvo, you can listen to native and non-native speakers from different parts of the world, pronouncing different words and phrases. Just type in the word, choose the speaker, and practice. 4. Visualize what the word or phrase looks like. Drawing what the word means, either on paper or in your imagination, will help you recall the meaning of the word whenever you hear it. This method works well with idioms, such as to keep one's mouth shut, informal, meaning to not talk about something. Tip: in addition to the image of the word, look at word associations in the Visual Dictionary and Thesaurus VisuWords. 5. Create mnemonics. Try to create a funny phrase or story that will strengthen the connection between the word and its meaning, known as a mnemonic. I find this technique especially effective when I need to recall words that are hard to spell. Here are a few mnemonics created by my students. Career, car and beer island is land to lose. Uh-oh, I've lost an O. Tip. There are a lot of mnemonics available online, such as the memes created by users in Memrise, but you will have a better chance of remembering the word if you invent your own. 6. Use spaced repetition. Repetition fixes new words in your memory. However, repeating them 100 times over the course of one day will not be as effective as repeating them a few times over a period of several days or weeks, i.e., spaced repetition. Use the new word immediately. Then try to recall it in an hour. Review it shortly before you go to bed. Use it again one day later. Finally, review it in a couple of days after that. Tip. In addition to spaced repetition platforms and online software, e.g., Anki, where you can practice with full sentences, you can schedule revision on your own. Make index cards with your words. Use it in a sentence on one side and put the definition translation image on the other. Then set up a schedule for revising them. Flick through the cards and sort them into 3 categories. Green, words to revisit less frequently in the future. Yellow, words to repeat from time to time. And red, words for frequent visits. 7. Dive deeper into etymology. Before you look up the word in the dictionary, try to guess what it means. Look at its root, suffixes, and prefixes. If you know a few languages, you will start recognizing new words that share roots. Researching the origin of new words may help you retain new words better. For example, did you know that the word tea comes from Chinese te, a Moy dialect, which corresponds to Mandarin cha? The English word tea, just as in French, Spanish, or German, derives from the Amoy form through the Dutch East India Company that introduced the leaves to Europe. Meanwhile, Russian chai, just as in Serbian, Persian, Greek, Arabic, and Turkish, all came overland from the Mandarin form. Now, whenever you hear tea or chai, you will see a lovely cup of steaming tea and know how it got to the country. Tip: whether you are looking for the origin of idioms or individual words, the online etymology dictionary may be quite helpful. 8. Challenge yourself with word games. The perception of a challenge stimulates the brain. Games that help you discover new meanings and new words are a fun way to expand your vocabulary. Tip: you can find tons of quizzes and games on Quizlet.com 9. Write it down. Writing down a new word, or ideally, a sentence using the new word, helps fix both its meaning and spelling in your memory. Make the sentences true about you or someone you know. Tip: instead of keeping these sentences to yourself, you can use them in writing games such as the folding story. This is an online version of the popular writing game where each player writes one line of a story and passes it on to another player to add to it. In the online version, each player gets just 3 minutes to write a line and scores points by the number of likes they receive for their lines. 10. Speak it into reality. It is not easy to actively recall a new word or phrase in the moment, even if you have tried hard to memorize it. To change this, record yourself speaking for 2 to 4 minutes without stopping. You could describe the world around you, or give your opinion on a particular topic. Next, listen to the recording of your speech and notice which words you used. Did you use any of the new words you'd like to activate? Did you use any familiar words that could be replaced with the new words? Afterwards, make a new recording. Is it any better? Tip: join an online community of language learners such as the Polyglot Club, where you can ask questions and practice with native speakers from all over the world. These are my top 10 tips, but you might find that other techniques work better for you. Try to experiment with these tips to see what works for you. Stay positive and enjoy the ride. Learning English or any language can be a challenging but rewarding experience. To make progress, you need to put in a lot of dedication and effort, but you also need to develop the right habits. Here are 5 habits that have helped my students achieve their aims. 1. Plan your learning and set realistic goals. The decision to study English or return to the English language classroom after a long break can be quite overwhelming. Try to plan your studies with a weekly timetable and dedicate one day for self-study, including time to review your lessons. Planning your learning day by day or week by week can be rewarding and will make it easier to measure your progress. This is especially true if you set realistic goals. For example, you might aim to learn 5 new linking expressions next week. Realistic, rather than master academic writing, extremely unrealistic. Tip: a wonderful app that I have used for studying is My Study Life. It helps with organizing your routine for study. You can even use it to plan other things in your day. 2. Record new vocabulary in a way that's easy to review. When studying a language, it's essential to keep vocabulary notes from lessons. As language lessons are often based on a particular theme, e.g., shopping, music, family, it's a good idea to organize vocabulary by topic. Experiment with different ways of recording vocabulary, including word cards, mind maps, and tables, and see what works best for you. You should also make a note of the different forms, uses, and pronunciation of particular words. Make sure you have a good learner's dictionary. Tip: try using your mobile phone to record vocabulary from your lessons. Or why not create an online poster using Glogster to upload new language, videos, or images from the class, such as the teacher's whiteboard notes? Try it out. 3. Review your lessons and self-study notes regularly. To successfully learn new vocabulary and grammar, you need to review your lesson or self-study notes regularly. Go through the notes you took in a particular lesson and try memorizing some or all of the important language or grammar points. Remember, set yourself realistic goals. Then, writing on a blank piece of paper, see how much you can recall. Repeat the process until you've memorized all the things you set yourself at the beginning of the task. Tip: some learners benefit from creating flashcards that you can store on a smartphone. Quizlet is one such app. There is also Go Conquer, which can help you bring all your lessons together in one place. You can even create vocabulary mind maps from your lessons. With so many tools to help you online, find out which ones work for you. 4. Be active and take control of your own learning. When in class, try to participate as much as possible. Be determined to use the language and grammar your teacher has presented. Making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process, so don't let that stop you. Be active rather than passive. Find out from your teacher what your strengths and weaknesses are. Ask your classmates what they think of your pronunciation. Set up an English speaking club with other students so you can practice speaking after class. By being active and taking control of your own learning, you will soon start to see results. Tip: there are many language apps available to help you connect with speakers of English, but the best one by far, in my opinion, is HelloTalk. This app will help you use your language skills outside the classroom. 5. Find interesting things in English to watch, read, and listen to. To succeed in your English learning, you need to read and listen to as much English language as possible. However, it's crucial to make sure the topics are ones that interest you. Get into the habit of watching TV shows or movies, listening to songs and radio shows, and reading books and magazines in English. The English language is truly global, and the opportunities to read or listen to it are endless. Tip: YouTube is a free and seemingly infinite resource of English language videos. A good place to start is with the British Council's YouTube channel. Remember, you can listen with the captions turned on. Personally, I love to watch Jamie Oliver's YouTube channel as it inspires me to try out some new recipes.